Hey everyone, I'm doing the fuel filter on my Hilux. I've made a bit of a head start, but I've got some info for you. This is what it should look like when you've removed it from the vehicle. I do have a playlist there. There's a number of playlists. We've done this fuel filter before. Just search my channel for replacing Hilux fuel filter, or just search fuel filter and see what videos come up. They'll either come up for the Prado or the Hilux. This is a really clean engine bay, just doing a service on it. We've just done the oil and filter. You can see the coolant's nice and clean. As always, it'll get done every 2 years. And the best time after I've done the oil and filter and given it a clean up, the best time's to do the fuel filter, because I want it clean, free of dust, dirt and mud when I take these fuel lines off. Now, usually I would cap these, but I'm just showing you for the DIY what you can do if your engine bay is 100% clean and dry like mine is, what you can do with your fuel hoses first to avoid them touching anything dirty. And the one that's coming into the filter, I just hook it in behind that heater hose there. You can see it's not underneath getting dirt falling from the intercooler. It is open, but it's only going to be open. Well, it was going to be a 5-minute job, but because I picked up the camera, here we are. That one, that's the one going to the supply pump. I've hooked it through the dipstick so it can't go anywhere and touch anything by accident. There's not a drop of fuel gone anywhere. And this is not what they do if you take your vehicle somewhere. They don't care. These will bang around. They'll get dirt in them. Fuel will leak everywhere. So you get a car back with mess everywhere and a fuel system probably with dirt in it. So have a think about that before you stop watching this video, and I'll continue to give the info. The information in this video is designed for those people that just want to slow down, watch the video, listen to what I've got to say with my decades of experience, and then you can decide if it sounds right or not, and keep doing what you were doing before if you think I'm full of it. But if you go, that's actually good info, you might want to subscribe, turn the bell on, keep watching the old videos and the new ones. The target is one a day, but I keep saying I'm going to miss one day, and I'm sure I do. All right, so if you've got a Hilux, fuel filter part number, there it is. I use the genuine ones. I get them from the local Toyota dealer. Why? They're not bad value for money. They're only about, draw a circa around 40 bucks, depending whether they like you or not, right? Now, not bad value. Aftermarket is going to be substandard quality, and it's just, why would you risk it for 40 bucks now I recommend every 40,000 Ks, or once a year if you do about 40,000. For me, this car does about maybe 10,000 a year, if that. So I change the fuel filter every 2 years, and I really can't wait to open it up and have a look in there, see what I'm going to find after 2 years. Now, this is the new fuel filter, obviously, and that's the one that I think is about 2 years old, but I don't really remember the kilometers. It's about 170K now. I don't remember when I did it last. I'm going to guess it's 2 years ago. Right now it's February 2026. I reckon I probably did it about 2 years ago, and I think I did it when we got the car. So it's probably been done straight away when we got it, once in between and once now. This is the old seal. You can see the moly coat on it. This is the new one. It comes with a seal. I'll show you how it goes in there. There's the moly coat. So I'm going to put the camera down. Let's have a look at the inside here. Quite often, first time you do yours, people you go to aren't going to clean this out. So you're going to look in there. There's going to be a whole heap of gunk and everything in there. Now, generally, I'll give that a wash out. Now, I'm not going to do that this time because it's quite clean in there. There's nothing to see here. You can even see how clean the fuel is. Don't worry, it's just a dirty oil drain tray. Normally I pour this into a white container, but I looked in there and poured it slowly, and I wasn't going to waste time on it. Now I'm putting the time into a video instead. So you want that cleaner. You can use some brake cleaner, carby cleaner, whatever you want. Just give it a quick clean, degreaser, whatever you want. Not water-based, nothing water-based. Just make sure you rinse it out properly and give it a compressed air and blow it out so it's dry, so there's nothing left in there messing with those plastic components. You got a water level float there, right? That's what that is. That's your water switch. That's what plugs in down the bottom here, that plug there. All right, and there's a pressure sensor on top. That's what the other plug's for those that are wondering. If the filter becomes blocked, you'll get a light come on. Now, everyone's going to have an opinion about how good or bad this filter is. It's actually not too bad. The black it's doing its job. You can see both the bottom section and that has got the black on it. They can come out completely soaked, completely like they're painted black. They can come out looking a bit cleaner than this, but I'm quite happy to give this a change. Now, this is the way it works. I'll put a little bit of moly coat on that O-ring there, which is on the filter. I will gently slip that filter into this. So that's upside down, right? So basically this is going to go. There you go, I even did it one-handed. Hit the like button for the skills, people. Come on. Now, before I do that, I'm going to put moly coat on this new O-ring, even though there's nothing wrong with the old one, so I don't have to change it. And it goes on, see right there in that lip where the moly coat is? because I haven't wiped it clean yet. I've just pulled that one off and picked up the camera. So I'm going to put the moly coat on the new one, put it in there, and then we're going to put the lid on. And basically you just line up the arrows. I'll show you what I mean once I get it back together. Or it's always a good idea to remove the old one out of the top cover before you try and put the cover back on. Of course I was going to do that. Now that just becomes a little bit stuck on there, but you just grab it here, give it a gentle pull and a jiggle, and it'll come off, and you'll lose a little bit more fuel like that. This, we can discard that now. I prefer not to wash this. People are wondering whether they should wash it or not. Look, it's just clean, it's diesel fuel. I wouldn't even put a rag and put fluff in there. At the end of the day, that has just got to cover that new filter up again. It's already clean on the inside, so there's no need to wash it. You're just really wasting your time and risking getting water or fluff or other contaminants in your fuel filter. So that lid is going to go on there. Bada bing. I've probably got another video showing you, so I'm just going to pop it on. There's even a part number for you if you break it, right? If you break yours, you can come back to this video. Be careful, don't put this in the vise. I didn't put that in the vise. I did it by hand. But so which way does it go? So what you got to do, you got to look at, see that arrow there? Right next to my thumb, right in the middle where that light's shining, that reflection right there, that arrow, straight up. See that arrow there? Underneath that line, we've got to line them up. So I've got to turn it around, see that little notch there, till it comes around and lines up. There it is, lined up, that arrow there, straight up with that one there, right? Once that's done, you just push it on. It'll just push down, take a little bit of pressure to push it down, and it'll want to sort of pop back again off that O-ring, and then we'll get this ring started, and it's got some little marks on it showing you when it's tightened all the way up as well. Now, remember what I said about just slowing down, taking your time, right? So, clean work environment. We don't want to contaminate anything. We don't want to break any of this plastic. People like to chuck it in the vise, this section here. You can do that, but you might break it. You can easily do this holding it. I'm going to give you the tip now. So this ring needs to be all the way closed. Once again, see that arrow there? See that's got the arrow to open it, but got those two arrows pointing up and down, right where the light's reflecting. That's got to be lined up with that one there, or it goes just past it, as you can see. That is all the way tight. Now, the last turn or half a turn might be difficult, depending how well you press the top on. The lid goes on, line it all up beautifully. Remember what we said about the arrow there and the arrow there. This is how it goes, no other way. So what you do is, when you're ready to tighten up that last half a turn, and it's all clean in your hands, see, clean hands, you don't have to get dirty, sorry, a bit dirty, but you don't have to get dirty to work on a vehicle. You can have clean vehicles and clean work. That's how I roll. So a couple of things you can do. You can either just sort of hold it in to your chest, you know, if you've got a bit of a gut there, you know, you can just sort of press against that and push the lid in. So like you'd be pushing on the top here. Keep those pointing up, so in case it does point, you know, any fuel doesn't leak out, is handy, you know, so it's not all over the floor and then you're slipping over. And, you know, you should always have hand and ear and eye protection, all safety, and disconnect your battery and all that. It's up to you what you do, but just push the lid down really firm against you, and then you'll be able to turn this with your other hand. Alternatively, you can go to the floor, but careful of this wire here, because see, it's already a bit, you know what I mean? You could go somewhere on the floor. I'd probably say put some rag, because you want to press there, but basically if you could push this on a rag like that, if you push that like that, then you'd easily be able to turn that. I recommend you put some moly coat on these threads as well, helps it spin. Bit of lubrication, because plastic on plastic isn't always the best, especially when it gets dust in there, which is why I say after you've given the engine bay a really good wash down, after you've blown it dry, driven the car, got it hot and it's 100% dry, best time to change it. That's what I've done. Even though I've managed to not make it too messy, because this is done and dusted, ready to go back on, I'll be giving it a good wipe with a rag, and I may give it a wash down again with degreaser once in the engine bay. So let's go back to the engine bay and get it. So one of the most important things here is, I guess, you need to know, don't bother trying to put it in from the top like that. And in some vehicles, you won't be able to. So you just go down. See, it's got a slot in it. You go down the first two slots, they go in between, right? So see what I mean? So you don't, I think the thing's getting hot, the light went off, right? Right, so boom, basically like that. And it pushes straight down like that. Hopefully you can see with the light off. And then it's as simple as reconnecting all your plugs, reconnecting your fuel lines. What I do, I connect this side first, and I pump it up a fair bit, and just before I'm holding the line there, just before it comes out, it goes on, give it all a wipe. It's simple as that. It's that, 2 lines, 2 clamps. They're not high pressure. So this one's by hand. That one you get your pliers to get onto it, or you might be able to get it with your tough fingers anyway. 2 plugs, 2 lines, simple as that. To take it out, there's nothing holding it in. You just pull it, right? You just pull it and wiggle it. It can be just a bit of a, you know, a bit tight sort of thing. I'm not trying to take it out again, but if I wanted to, it can go all the way up, straight all the way top to top. I'm just saying, you need to be aware of this, especially if you've got your wires connected still, because if you're working on the vehicle, you can actually leave it all connected and lift it up, and just to get it out of the way of things, it's going to pop all the way up because I haven't got 2 hands, but you can pop it up a little bit and just drop it out of your way and move it aside to get to your oil filter, for example, right? It doesn't have to go all the way up, which would require disconnecting all your plugs. Anyway, I'll get it back together and see if there's anything else I got for you. Bonus info for those of you that hang around. Save you from ending up on the side of the road. Okay, so firstly, what I want to know is, in the comments, please. So this was spotlessly cleaned after an oil and filter change. Then it was dried, it was driven, it was hot, and then once we came back, and I knew it was dry, but I got compressed air, I blew it anyway, there was nothing came off it, so I know it's clean and dry 100%. I've just taken the clamps off, done what I've done, shown you what I've shown you. So in the comments, the experts that are better than me, let me know what I've done wrong, and you know, because there's definitely always experts that know more than me. And then all the people that think that maybe I've done the right thing, you can have a look as well, and I will maybe answer some of those comments. Let's just see, because that's what I do. I do read all the comments, by the way. And if it's just rubbish and rotten or incorrect, I just won't have it up there, because if it's wrong, completely wrong, you go and put it on your own channel and you can be wrong. It's not going to be on my comments if it's completely wrong. If it's an opinion, that might go up there, as long as there's not personal attacks, swear words, that sort of thing. You can have an opinion. We may have a discussion there. This discussion might come out in the next video. But would you now go and hit that with water-based degreaser and wash it down before you send the vehicle out back to the customer out of the workshop? Would you do that, or are you happy with that? I got a clean rag. I gave it a final wipe down all the fingerprints and that. I reckon you could eat off that. You pump it up. Now, the way I leave that off a little bit to pump it up, probably 10, 15 pumps, you don't have to do that. You can put it on. So if somebody's going to say, oh, you know, you don't have to do that, you shouldn't have done that. Matter of opinion whether you should do it or not. I like to do it. I can feel it filling up. I know how much it takes. I can hear it, and I put it on before it hits the hose and spurts back at me and all that sort of thing. Just give it a good pump till it's hard. Now, here's your info for hanging around till the end. I'm going to check a couple other things. That grommet all right? Just like it's sitting out. Yeah, that's all right. Did I tell you about the wires that rub in here? You got to rework that wiring loom. It can rub through and cause problems. Could be on the other side as well. That's in a separate video. You might have missed it. Good time to subscribe and turn the bell on now. So your fuel filter. So if you run out of fuel, this is going to go soft. So if you come out here and you pump that and it's soft, and you don't know what the difference between soft and hard unless you've done this. So you need to get out there and pump it up, right? And basically see, that's hard. It doesn't go down, right? I can use the palm on my hand and push it a bit harder. That's rock solid, full of fuel. It's going to start. If you were to run your vehicle and it was to stop and this was all soft again, you had to pump it 5 or 10 times to get it hard again, you're out of fuel. Why would you be out of fuel? Well, maybe your fuel gauge is wrong. Maybe you've got a problem in your fuel tank. You've damaged your fuel tank. It's all blocked up. The whole pickup's blocked up maybe. But the most common one on these Hiluxes is the problem in the dash cluster, where some of the solders come loose, let's say. And what it does, it gives you an incorrect reading. It'll tell you you've got quarter of a tank when you've got nothing. So if you know you're going to get about 600 Ks, I'm just using an example. Some people get 400, some people get 800 out of your Hilux. With your standard 76 litre tank, I can get about 650 normally. 650, I'm not going to run it down to that. 550, 600 in the Hilux, I'm going to look for fuel. But at the end of the day, you can get about 650 on average, I would say, is the number for a reasonably economical, well set up vehicle without massive tyres, with some relatively economical cruisy driving. I know people get 700, 800, even 900 out of it, so that's great. I even know someone that made it across the Simpson Desert to within 1 kilometre of the servo at Birdsville. But my point is, the fuel gauge, if it's wrong, and it can happen all of a sudden, it can be okay. So if you're looking at reset your trip A on these things, so if you haven't fixed your dash cluster, because when it happens, you might go, oh, well, I seem to be getting really good economy this tank, and next thing you know, you'll be on the side of the road. If that happens, well, A, if you reset trip A and you know how many Ks you get out of the tank, you know when to go get fuel. And when you do that and you fill it up and it takes 73 litres and you go, oh, wow, lucky I watched Ant's video, it's all good, mate. You don't have to say anything. Just smile and go, beautiful. But if it does happen to you, you come out here and you pump that and it's really hard to get it to pump up, you got no fuel in your tank. So that's probably the number one cause. The other one, like I said, could be the damaged tank or the block pickup, something like that. But to be quite honest, it's rarely ever anything else. And bada bing, bada boom. New filter's in, it's nice and clean. Hope you enjoyed the info. If you did, hit the like button. I'll be looking at the likes, I'll be looking at the subscribers, and I'll be looking at the comments. Catch you on the next video. See you. Hope it helps. Ciao.